today we're actually here to view the Great Wall. Now, first off, I just want to start out and let you know that this movie is not what you expect unless you expected what it was. I know I probably just confused you, but I confused myself as well. Listen. When I tell you, I had such low expectations going into this movie just because I didn't like the trailer. I thought it was just like too much CGI. I thought like the action looked really like outdated, over-exaggerated, hyperbolized. I just thought like the world, and don't get me wrong, like I thought it was kind of going into like the territory of like, I don't want to say this in a wrong way because you know you got to be really culturally sensitive. I don't mind being culturally sensitive, don't want to offend anybody, but I thought it was going to go into like a kung fu type movie, which like when I was younger my older sister always liked to watch, but like I didn't like to watch because a lot of the movies were heavy in subtitles. Let me just say that this movie was so good. Like, I could just let you know off bat, press play. Like, here we go. Okay. When I tell you, like, from start to finish, okay, so let's get into the technicalities first. First off, the movie theater started it off, like, in, like, the movie was shaking, and I don't usually go see things in 3D unless I have to, and this movie, you didn't really have a choice, and, it was just like shaking, and I was like, yo, I can't watch this. But then they fixed it. It was like, I didn't even know, I didn't know it was anything wrong with it. I thought it was just me and my experience with 3D. But furthermore, what I thought was really dope after that, once they fixed it, was that the movie was beautifully shot. When I tell you, like, that's the first thing that caught me and kept me into the story. Like, because at first I didn't think I would be interested, so I was like on my phone a little bit in the beginning. Don't worry, I wasn't disrupting anybody. My light was down. But what I will say is that, like, it was like, okay, the world building that they did there on that Great Wall of China, it made you want to live there. It made you want to be a part of that army that they had. Like, it was just so beautiful. It made me like, if this was an actual representation, some sort of Chinese culture, then for like once in my life, I think I really could appreciate Chinese culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really, you know, not saying I never did in the beginning, but, or before, it's just like this right here was like, I had like here, and like, but so here you have two lost men, so to speak, and they had just like they're really like, so to speak, they're thieves. They're traveling. They're in search of a weapon powder called black powder, and I guess what that is today would be like gunpowder or a powder that. Now, I'm not a weapon specialist, so I might be saying some of this stuff wrong, but I'm sure you aren't either. And if you are, you weird as fuck, bro. You weird as fuck. But, so, I say all this to say that they were looking for this gunpowder. And, like, first I thought it was just, like, because the movie definitely was set back, you know, a couple hundred years, maybe. Like, they really don't say, or at least I don't think they say. Remember I told you I was on my phone a little bit. But what I will say is that, like, you can tell it was set back a couple hundred years ago. And, so maybe this weapon was new. And the movie just was, like, really beautiful and eloquent. Like what you saw, like, each army had different colors to represent who they were. And, like, one of the most beautiful things I saw, besides organization, because I'm, like, just the way everything was organized and perfectly crafted was just beautiful. And they showed, like, a lot of the mechanics that the wall could do. Like, it could open up, and they had guys, men who would, like, basically pull these big things, pull and push these things, and it would create scissors, and it would kill these attackers that were coming to attack them, like these creatures. And so the plot is basically based around the two thieves going to get the gunpowder, and then Matt Damon, who plays this thief, who finally realizes he has like a epiphany that, you know, his life has been based on a bunch of nothingness, meaning nothingness. Like, he got tired of fighting for nothing. Like, yeah, I'm an excellent fighter. Yeah, I'm a killer. Yeah, I'm a thief. But all of it has no purpose. And he finally finds his purpose, and it was just to stay there and help the people. Like, it's not like, and so his friend was like, you know, we got what we're here for, because they end up meeting this other guy who had the same intentions, became there 25 years ago, really had no plan to escape. The black powder was heavily protected. And to me, I kind of wanted to save the reason for the gunpowder being heavily protected to the end, but it makes sense just to tell you now. The commander, Lynn, she had the intention to to, or I guess everyone had the intention to protect the black powder, not because they wanted to be like, because, you know, if this movie was set in America, they'd be like, we don't want any of our enemies to have this, that we don't want them to have this one up on us. No, they had the intention to say, like, to keep the black powder to themselves so that the world wouldn't have to see the ugliness that it could do. You know what I mean? I think they killed the creatures not because they wanted to kill, but because they felt like they had to. Like, you know, their army was really to protect themselves, not to conquer or take over the world, because the black powder was something that could have allowed them to easily take over the world. And honestly, it was like they were fighting a battle not just for their big city and their emperor, but they was fighting a battle for the world, because they knew that if those creatures got past that wall, then they would not only get to their major city and their emperor city, it would get to the world. You know what I mean? And because they need bodies to feed off of, which is like, everything just made sense. It wasn't like far-fetched, even though we're looking at some CGI creatures, but for some reason, because the movie had like such a larger than life build, like world building, it made sense. And like, usually I'm the type of person who I like to have such realism in my movies that I feel like I could go to this place, I could like live here. And even though this was so like large of a world, it just, because everything was so practical, it felt like, you know, there was some sense of realism to it. And then the action sequences were beautiful. Matt Damon, he really came through. Like, it was amazing action. And then what I also like, one of the most beautiful things in the world was, and it's going to sound crazy trying to describe it, and if I can find any shots, I'll try to post them. But, and it may be in the trailer, I have to go back and look. I remember not really liking the trailer, so I don't really remember it. But when I tell you, like, okay, so they have these, like, gymnastic women who were, like, so the wall would kind of, like, build, like, this big, like, arch, and it would kind of look like this, and it would have like these different posts, and it would be like people that stand at the back of the posts, and like, which was closer to the wall, and they would throw spears to the women who would stand here, and they would each stand on the podium, and this is like in the air above the wall, and these women had like rings around their bodies that kind of like allowed them to attach, because it would be like a ring and then a rope, and then they would jump off the post and like flip into air and then go and like spear the creatures. And when I tell you, it was like such a beautiful thing to see, until one of the creatures ate one of the ladies, and then it was murder, she wrote. And then like they would like take the rings back up, and it was like bloody rings. It was almost like a chicken bone, like once you clean it off, like, and just throw it to the side, like it was like a collection of chicken bones. And that was such a black reference, but I actually don't eat chicken. But overall, the movie was definitely great. It's definitely a Dawn Press Play moment. I feel like it's one of the better movies that I've seen as of recent, just because it showed me something I haven't seen before. Like, I would definitely put it on the level of John Wick, but with a more imaginative plot. Now, don't get me wrong, John Wick was very realistic, and I think that's where these movies differ. And so they're not some of the movies at all, but to me, creativity, definitely I would have to give it to The Great Wall. I feel like this movie was marketed all wrong, though, because I feel like as many people that should see it aren't going to go see it. And that really kind of hurts me now that I think about it, just because that's why I'm so glad I'm doing this channel, because I want you guys to really eventually, like, you know, once I build an audience, I want people to be like, yo, he said we should go see this, we should go see this, because I really want to, I trust that he, you know, watches great movies. And, you know, I've been honest thus far. When I told you don't press play, don't press play. Like, it really ain't worth your money. Like, don't go see 50 Shades Darker. It was a waste of your money. I wasted my time even. I should have been watching something else. More importantly, when I went to Cinemark, they also gave me these dope buttons. And I'm ecstatic. I think this is the coolest thing ever. I don't know if y'all know. I don't know how y'all feel about free stuff, but anything free is for me. Okay, I'm going to just end the video with that, because like they said on the Cheetah Girls, you got to leave while you hot. That's how May screwed up. And that was Kanye West. Anyway, so thank you. That was another Dawn Press Play review. You should press play. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Check out some of my other videos. And let me know what you thought about the movie. And if you only seen the trailer, let me know what are your preconceived notions about the movie below. And other than that, subscribe. Be blessed.